What is St. John's and where is it in relation to St. Johns County, Jacksonville, St. Augustine? Today we're diving deep into that little pocket of St. John's. But before we get started, I'm Caitlin Blosser. Welcome to Living in St. John's. I'm a local realtor here to help you with all your needs in Northeast Florida, whether you already live here or looking to make the move. Follow along weekly as I teach you about the area from the comfort of your own home. But let's dive into today's topic of St. John's. So St. John's is a tiny little city, and I call it a city, but I think technically it's like an unincorporated township because we don't have our own mayor. We don't have kind of our own local government, but for postal services, we are St. John's, Florida. And St. John's is in the northwest corridor of St. John's County. The big city of St. John's County is St. Augustine, and then north of St. John's County is Jacksonville and Duval County. Although we're in St. John's County with St. Augustine, most people refer to St. John's as a suburb of Jacksonville. So location of St. John's, like I said, it's that northwest corridor. So it's going to be from US 1. East of US 1 is Nocatee. West of US 1 is the start of St. John's. And it's going to go all the way from US 1 to State Road 13. We're a little further north on Racetrack in some areas, and then we're not further south than 210. So just kind of this skinny little strip of a city. Some of the original neighborhoods here were Durbin Crossing, Julington Creek Plantation, Cimarron, St. John's Forest. And then some of the newer developments you've probably heard of are Rivertown, Beach Walk, Durbin Creek Estates, Julington Lakes, things along Aberdeen. So that is St. John's. It's really just the 32259 zip code. And we just have a lot of neighborhoods, a lot of schools, and we're starting to get some development here with the Durbin Pavilion, and they're building hospitals and things of that sort. But St. John's County includes St. John's, and then as soon as you go south of 210, you start St. Augustine, and that's going to take you through World Golf Village all the way down to the city of St. Augustine. On the beach side, you're going to have Ponte Vedra Beach, going south to Volano Beach, Butler Beach, St. Augustine Beach, Crescent Beach. If you go west, you'll hit Elkton, but that's kind of the county as a whole. There's a couple other towns like Switzerland, Hastings, but that's kind of the gist of St. John's County. Once you hit Daytona, you've been too far, now you're in Flagler. But the draw to St. John's and St. John's County is the schools. That's why a lot of people move here. St. John's County School District has been rated an A school district since 2010. So 13 years running, hopefully 14, being rated an A by the state of Florida. If you look on greatschools.com, there's 51 schools in St. John's County, and we're adding about 2 a year because growth and development we're needing those schools because of how many people have moved here, especially during COVID. But there's about 51 schools in the county as a whole. Like everywhere, you're going to have some pockets of really good schools, some pockets of not so great schools. St. John's, though, does have some really great schools. Our 2 high schools are ranked 9 out of 10. And then in St. John's, we have some elementary and middle schools, and then we also have some K through 8 schools. One of our K through 8, Patriot Oaks, is rated a 10 out of 10 on great schools. Most of our elementary and middle schools are an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, with one of the middle schools being a 7 out of 10. Now, the county as a whole, if you go further south, closer to the city of St. Augustine, there are some schools ranked 3, 4s, and 5s. So just if you're looking to moving to the area for the schools, just check out online greatschools.org as a great resource to kind of get a grasp on the schools where you're looking to move, or I can assist you if you do need help. But the schools are the biggest draw here. And in St. John's, especially, people move here for the schools and also because we're so close to Jacksonville. Now, I don't want to say there's not a lot to do here, but there's not a lot to do here. In St. John's, we have some great communities with some awesome amenity centers like Beach Walk. A lot of the big communities do have the pools, the golf courses, lazy rivers, a ton of community events, and we have the schools. But as far as development, you have to go to St. Augustine or St. Augustine or Jacksonville for the rest of it. I personally feel like St. John's County is more of a commuter county where we have to rely on some of the other counties for work, things like that. But we're very heavy on neighborhoods and schools. And with that being said, with things to do. We were by niche.com rated the second county out of 67 counties in the state of Florida for best place for outdoor activities. And St. John's does have some really fun trails. We're right on the river, but the county as a whole, we have the beaches, Guana State Park. There's a lot of places to explore here. So that is a great thing and what people like to move here for. A lot of neighborhoods are built around conservation land. So again, you get the nature right in your backyard. With that, affordability. So St. Johns County as a whole, some would say, well, I'll just compare St. John's over St. Johns County. So St. John's is a little bit more expensive than St. Johns County. And again, that's because of the draw to St. John's, because of our relation to Jacksonville, and because of the schools in our area. It just has drawn people here. We're close to the highway, so you can go north, south, east, or west very quickly. You're not landlocked. There's a lot of growth up here in St. John's, and then there's a lot of growth in St. Augustine. Kind of in between that 210 further south, you have the start of Silverleaf, which is a great development that is building, and then you get down to World Golf and they're building. So it's kind of like the progress is growing the further south you go. So the further south you go, it does get cheaper, and to me that's just because you're further away from Jacksonville, so your commute time is going to be longer. And then again, those great schools are kind of more towards the north. But whether you're looking to move to St. John's or St. John's County, the county as a whole, not only for the schools and for the outdoor spaces, we were voted #1 county to live in the state, #1 for best place for families to live in the state. And again, that's from niche.com for 2023. So overall, it's a great place to live with a lot of things to do. You just might have to commute up to Jacksonville, or of course, historic St. Augustine is always a great time. It is touristy, especially at Christmas with Night of Lights, but they do put on a ton of parades for all the holidays. So if you can handle the crowds, especially, it's a great place. We do have the St. Augustine Amphitheater down in St. John's County that does bring in some great talent for being a smaller venue. And then of course, Jacksonville, you have the Jacksonville Jaguars, you have the baseball stadium. So there's a ton of things to do around St. John's. So as long as you're willing to commute, it's a great place to live. If you have any more questions about the differences between St. John's County, everything as a whole, feel free to reach out, and thank you for watching the video today.